Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. A lot of people have been asking us about how we buy designer pieces and how we can afford buying these like expensive luxury designer pieces. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and let's get right into it. So we broke it down into 5, I guess, tips that we have, and we'll like briefly dive into them after. So first, in fashion, there's sale season. Like Essence, for instance, everybody knows that like we have a fall winter sale and a spring summer sale every like 4 months. Anyways, you guys understand, like every year there's 2 big sales and there's always discounts and like
it's around summer and around winter.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like definitely like every luxury brand, every luxury store does this. So sale season's obviously like a great time to, find good steals and good investments, especially when it gets up to that like 70% off. You could definitely find some good items for like a lot cheaper than what it'd be for retail.
Also, adding on, I've never done this, but I've seen other people do it. I think there are apps where, like, let's say you put something into your wish list. The app tells you, the app tells you like when the item goes on discount or when the price gets reduced.
True, yeah. I have Shop Tagger, which is I'm sure a lot of YouTubers have like mentioned it before. Well, we're not sponsored, but Shop Tagger, if you want to sponsor us, it basically you could create lists. Like let's say I created a Christmas list, and like you could put items in it, and you could even set like, oh, if it's discounted to 25% off, notify me, or like 50% off, 75%. So that's definitely a great tool. Yeah.
Secondhand platforms would be the second point. So even places like Grills, Depop,
Rakuten, Yahoo, Japan, eBay,
Instagram, like archive pages.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
There's a lot of different outlets that you can like look into and kind of constantly check up on for items that you really like. And honestly, places like even Grilled, for example, have like runway pieces, and those are extremely nice and rare and unique. And to be honest, I love like thrifting and vintage shopping and stuff like that, because I think you find a lot of items that are more unique, and a lot of people don't have those items. So to me, it feels more special. And it's always nice to find like some runway piece from like 1990, whatever.
Yeah. And there's a lot of even like vintage thrift stores that like are more curated. You might be paying a bit higher than like a regular thrift store, but like they like a lot of thrift stores, like I Miss You in Toronto, I Miss You Man, I Miss You Vintage, they have curated like a space where most items are designer, and it's a lot easier to find designer pieces. And it's still a lot cheaper than if you were to buy retail or buy new season stuff, for sure.
A bigger challenge is though, like thrifting, for example, if you have the time. I find, at least in Toronto, like you have to go kind of out of the city to find these really good designer pieces that are super rare. So if you have the chance to do that, then that's also another option. You could find it for cheap. You could find it like, it's really satisfying to find something like that, because you're just like, oh, like I wasn't really expecting to find this, and then you find it because you're kind of on a hunt, and it becomes like a game. I don't know. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Even when we were in New York, like our friends told us to go to like Williamsburg, and there were so many different thrift stores and curated thrift stores that like sell like Japanese designers, like Chanel, Prada, high-end luxury stuff. So definitely like do some research, whatever city you live in. I'm sure you'll be able to find some. And Europe is crazy. Like Europe has unlimited, like so many options for good secondhand spots. But yeah. I guess for number 3, I always tend to say buy like investment pieces, and don't buy like necessarily just trendy items that are like in right now in the fashion world, let's say. That's just because like at the end of the day, one, you'll wear it more in the long run. If you buy something a good investment piece, it's good quality, definitely would have it for longer. And trendy items, like once it's out of trend, you tend to want to like sell it, you know, like I remember I bought a pair of like the Balenciaga cowboy boots, and like it wasn't really me, but like at the time,
Oh yeah, I
right?
completely forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, I did really like them at the time and I wore them a lot, but in the long run, I feel like it just didn't really go with the rest of my closet, so it was hard to wear it with other things, like stuff like that, so I ended up selling it. And that's the other thing that I kind of want to touch on is investment pieces. You're able to sell it and replace it with something else, you know, like if once you don't wear it anymore and you could find, you know, someone else who might want to buy it off you just because it is a designer brand. And you'd be surprised, I've sold items that I've had for years like more than like what I actually bought
Yeah,
for.
because the value like increases with time.
So if you take good care of it, you can always like replace items and stuff. That's definitely
For sure.
yeah.
I work for a company that offers employee discounts is number 4. Obviously we are lucky to work for Essence and even I'm sure Farfetch or whatever, like a lot of retail companies, they do offer discounts for their employees. So that's like a perk that if you're into fashion and stuff, obviously being able to afford luxury becomes kind of easier because it's discounted for you. Yeah, I don't know much else to add on that. I feel like, do you have anything?
But yeah, I guess like just yeah, whatever you're interested in, obviously like you're drawn towards that. So finding something in the field that you're interested in, obvious like even if they don't provide you with, let's say, an allowance or employee discounts, you tend to, I guess you're more connected to the market and stuff, so you'd be able to like find better deals and steals even, you know, like a lot of times like our coworkers were messaging each other like, yo, look at this item that I found, like, you know, like from like different sites, different secondhand places, different like online social media. And yeah, once you're in that like community bubble, like, and people are like-minded and want to buy similar things, like, you know, you kind of find out about more outlets to shop as well. But working in the fashion industry obviously has its perks in getting clothing, and that goes with like I'm sure most companies have discounts.
Yeah.
And then lastly, it sounds kind of obvious, I guess, but it is budgeting, and budgeting in a lot of different ways. So like budgeting obviously could be every month you put a portion of your money into investing in clothes. And you don't have to buy clothes every month obviously, but like let's say you want to buy a really nice piece, save $100 each paycheck, and then, you know, after 4 or 5 months you can end up buying a really nice piece and invest in it. Instead, I know a lot of people like, they'll be like, oh, this is only $40, this is only $80, so they're buying like a lot of random stuff and then they don't end up really wearing it, but like that stuff adds up, right? So that's definitely like a huge thing, is definitely savings. And if you're bad at savings, which I am, I just like set it up with my bank that like every paycheck I get, it automatically takes money out of my paycheck and puts it into my savings account.
TFSA.
Yeah, so like you don't have to think about it, which is nice. Yeah.
Another one of the things that falls into like budgeting is like spending less money on like the more basic items. So for example, like tank tops, tights, like just more like casual items you could just use for like layering, for example, you spend less on. And you can budget yourself into like saving money and then spending it on more statement pieces or a piece that you really have been having your eye on. Just kind of being able to like pick your battles with what you decide to purchase on, I think, is something that's also important.
Yeah, that's a huge thing with us. Like, you could find very good quality basics without spending a lot. Like plain tank tops. I don't need to buy a regular looking Dion Lee tank top. Like, they have the ones that with like cool cutouts or whatever, but like the regular tanks, like I just get Calvin Klein tank tops because they're good quality. They last me forever. Stuff like that. Yeah, there's no point of spending a lot of money I don't
Yeah.
like ever spend money on like designer t-shirts because I find like it's a waste of money. It's just cotton tees with like a graphic and
Yeah, like for example, for summer, like I obviously wear like a lot of like white beaters or like tank tops and like mini skirts or whatever. Like a lot of that is thrifted for me because I find it basic because it's something that I wear often that I know I will like it's something I know I wear often. So I don't tend to necessarily spend a lot of money on it because I just want more options of like the tank top, if that makes sense.
yeah, like you rather have like 5 different colored
Yeah,
basic tanks than having one really
expensive one.
that's still plain and like nobody would, like there's no design that makes it different than like a regular tank.
Yeah, and like a tank top, you can't necessarily like resell it.
Yeah.
If it has nothing special to it. So like it's really just picking your battles on what you want to spend your money on.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to add?
I was gonna say that buying luxury items is a privilege, and obviously like don't feel the pressure that social media and everyone around you, like especially on Instagram for example, that are like wearing all these designer pieces, so you want to be able to like buy those designer pieces too. Like I don't think it should work that way. I think go with what feels natural to you. Don't force yourself to buy these things because at the end of the day, like it is literally luxury to be able to afford that. And I don't know, I think it's also like your priorities. Like what do you want to prioritize on in terms of like money? Like for example, us, we love clothes, so like we obviously budget ourselves into being able to spend money on clothes, whereas someone else would rather party and
Go to the club and spend
or like
bottles.
on restaurants and food
Yeah.
and like so it really depends on the person you are, and just saying like don't force yourself into
Yeah.
convince yourself to buy.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, having style is the most important thing, which you don't need to spend money to have style. Thrift stores are everywhere, and there are people who dress way better than people who buy designer.
100%.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, oh, you have to buy designer or anything, and don't feel pressure to always buy. I know like social media, and like even our jobs, like we're personal shoppers, so yeah, we showcase new pieces,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, don't feel pressured and like influenced by people just because like you feel like, oh my gosh, they post a new outfit every single day and they have new pieces every day. Social media is all a facade at the end of the day.
Sometimes people just send these influencers free stuff and everything. Like it's not like they spent
And
their
people
money on
buy
it
in
either.
return just to post pictures.
Exactly.
Don't believe everything you see, and yeah, just remember, stay true to yourself, find your style, and budget accordingly. Hopefully in the long run you're able to like save enough and maybe not buy clothes right away, invest in stocks, and for the long run when you're older you're able to afford luxury items and afford other things that you want in life, because at the end of the day clothing is essential, but fashion and luxury items aren't. So definitely don't like spend a lot on designers and be broke and struggle to pay rent. Don't be dumb.
That makes no sense.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that pretty much concludes our video.
yes. I don't know why I said it.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed the video.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And we will be back next week with a video. We don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We also love doing these discussion videos, like talking about like in depth on stuff that maybe a lot of other social media places don't really like to talk about, because it's always a push, sell, buy. But yeah, if you guys have any cool discussions or topics that you guys want us to talk about as well, let us know for sure.
Our tattoo video is coming.
Yeah, I just want to finish a couple tattoos and then do it. That's fine. Taking a long time, but yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, like, not obvious, but if you want, like, comment, and subscribe. And Bye.